On behalf of our principal, Dr. Singh, we would like to welcome all of our distinguished guests to our home away from home. At this time, we would like to introduce our Fort Gordon Garrison Commander, Colonel Pick.
We've got the Alliance, we've got the board, we've got the teaching team here, and the superintendent, state and district. Thanks for coming. Hopefully we didn't hem you up at the gate too bad. We were telling some stories about how we get that wrong once in a while, so hopefully we rolled out the red carpet-ish. But I want to, just from the commander perspective here, we're so lucky to have this school here and to have the people we have in it. And in terms of what happens here, how important it is, I just want to amplify that, because we have entities on Fort Gordon that do national security missions, real world, every day, some very sensitive. What happens here makes those activities pale, because what we're doing here is nothing short of building the next generation of American citizens, right? And that is national security. I believe that to my core, and that's why this is a treasure, and we'll do anything we can to make this team successful. They don't need my help. Dr. Singh and her team are heroes. So just wanted to thank you and let you know how important the people in this little shindig here are. So, sir, thanks for coming, and I'll hand it over to the ringmaster. We good?
Faculty staff member that works for the Richmond County School System to say hope is on the way. We were really struggling with keeping schools open, large numbers of cases, and then we were able to work with 3 of our local partners. One, Department of Public Health. We have a strong relationship with them, and they immediately say, whatever you need for us to do, we will facilitate vaccinations for your staff. We also have the local hospital, Augusta University Health. They were able to say, whatever you need to do to get your staff vaccinated, and they were able to support us. And finally, the Federal Community Retail Pharmacy Program, there's a third option for teachers to get everyone vaccinated in a timely manner. And on March 8th, the vaccination became available, and I'm proud to say that I was the first one in line, because I experienced COVID myself, and I know that it is real. But I wasn't alone. I was able to take teachers with me to be vaccinated, teacher assistants with me to be vaccinated, bus driver, custodians, and it was an opportunity to just let everyone know that we are now moving in the right direction. So I want to show you a brief video.
When the governor announced last week that K-12 educators would have an opportunity to be vaccinated, we were just elated. We took this opportunity to send a memo out to all of our employees to let them know that we have a partnership with our local health providers. This partnership has emerged to what we see today, and that's our employees have an opportunity to be vaccinated. I feel great. I received the vaccine today. It's amazing, just what we've done over the last 6 to 8 months with just coming up with the vaccination. Our kids need to be in school. We want them in school. We're excited to have them in school, and hopefully this will allow us to continue to have them in school.
Okay, this is my last slide. Looking ahead, we are planning for reopening now. Typically, you don't plan for reopening. That's a summer exercise. But right now, we need to let our community know that we are prepared. We are developing a reopening plan that we want to present to our community either June or July to give everyone a heads up. Our goal is to open school in person for all of our students. Cases have gone down significantly. Matter of fact, we have cases that are reported to us every day, and of a system with 4,000 employees and 30,000 students, we only had 1 case reported yesterday. And about 4 to 6 months ago, those cases would be about 20 a day. And we would send that report to the board just to give everyone a heads up. So we're proud of the progress. We believe it's aligned with the vaccinations. Number 2, addressing pandemic learning gaps. Some people call it learning loss. We call it gaps. The kids weren't in school, so they just didn't have opportunity to learn. Now for others, there's learning loss that has occurred. But we're grateful for CARES 1, CARES 2, and the ARP, the American Rescue Plan. Many people said it's a lot of money. we were able to take our staff and look at the needs that have occurred over the last year and a half, plus the austerity cuts that have occurred over the few years. And this will allow us to catch up but not get ahead. But we're just so grateful for that funding. We're planning to go one-to-one. That means next year, a device, a computer in the hands of every child by December. That's a pretty ambitious initiative, but we were able to put a device in the hand of every student who chose virtual learning. So we're extremely proud of that, but next year we hope to have technology in the hand of every child. So, and finally, student testing. With testing, our students are actually taking the milestones today. So when you take a tour of the building, there are certain halls that you can't go down so that we won't disrupt the testing environment. But we're proud to say, I asked Dr. Singh, I said, about how many of your students are virtual? She said about 26%. So that means we got about 74% that are in school. And she said it's been pretty consistent since we opened school September 8th. So we're proud of the progress we made, sir, and we just look forward to next school year and just our opportunity to continue to support the families. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Singh.
Good morning, all. Again, I am Dr. Singh, and I have the distinct honor of serving these students in this building. It's a great honor because I have the opportunity to serve families that serve us every day, and that is a blessing, to be able to give back to people who give to us. So I want to welcome everyone today, Georgia State Superintendent, Mr. Woods, and his lovely wife, the Garrison Commander, Command Sergeant Major, board members, Dr. Bradshaw, friends, visitors. Now I want to just give you a brief overview of our building so you can get a glimpse at what we do here every day. First, we are a pre-K, not K through 8 school, located here on the installation. We have earned 3 pre-K classes, which is great because we want to get the kids in early, get them acclimated to the Freedom Park Way, because there is a Freedom Park Way. And we rarely get to see students through pre-K through 8th grade, and that's fine because they PC us so often. So Christina is actually one of our survivors. She's been here for 6 years, so that is great. We have a student population of about 645, and as stated before, about 27% of our students are virtual. And I attribute that to the work that my staff did in the beginning. I always tell them you need to put the work in on the front end so that you don't have to worry about it on the back end. So because they did such a great job of really getting the families in here and showing them how we plan to keep their children safe, we had a great number of our students decide that they would return face-to-face in September. During the Christmas break, we allowed more students to come back for January, and that's how we got to our 27% virtual. Again, many of our students learn better virtually, so I'm pleased to hear that Richmond County is going to offer that for the next school year for those who wish to do that. But we want all our kids back in the building because it's just, teachers were made to be in the classroom with kids, and they feel that way. We have 56 teachers, approximately 102 staff members, and 95% of our students are military connected, meaning they have a family member who is an active duty service member, veteran, or retired. Freedom Park, we're very proud of the way our students perform. They are taking the Georgia milestones at this time. They typically do very well, and we expect the same this year. Freedom Park in the red, we have done very well for the last 3 years, and we don't expect anything different this year because the focus of our school is academics and mental health. We know that if they're feeling well and they're mentally well, then we can focus on their academics and you will see the results in our scores. Some of the ways we support our families, we were the pilot school for a program called Panorama. Panorama is a one-stop shop for attendance, behavior, academics, and social emotional learning. So it's a great way to get a snapshot of a child to see how they're performing academically. Are they coming to school? Do they have any mental health issues that we need to look into? We have a very strong mental health team that includes our counselors who are in attendance, and our MFLAG family life counselors on post work very well together. We meet twice a month, keeping an eye on the mental health of all of our students, because again, at this time with the pandemic, it's very important that we make sure our kids are mentally healthy. New families meet with our counselors for a school tour and ways to connect with the school community. We have a one-stop stop on our website for parents as they PC us in, because we get many calls before they get here. Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? And they want those things set up before they get here so that it's a smooth transition. And so it's very important for us that we get them in early before they arrive, meet them, tell them what they need to bring with them, get them in transition, and get them acclimated to the building. We also have a modified attendance protocol for before and after deployments, seamless registration process, and a seamless change of enrollment. Now, what do I mean by that? At the beginning of the school year, we had several students who decided they wanted to learn virtually. But once they saw what we were doing in the building and the parents became comfortable with what we were doing, and we didn't have many outbreaks in our building, many of our parents decided they want to return, and we wanted to make that as seamless as possible. So we get them in, we get them set up in classrooms, and we just keep learning. If the school has to shut down due to COVID or the district, we quickly transition over to virtual learning, the entire building or a classroom, whatever it entails, and we just keep moving, because the idea is academics and mental health. We serve our students with special recognitions for students who have deployment. It's called our Purple Star Board. So any student who has a family member who has been deployed for more than 3 months are recognized on our Purple Star Board. We have a Deployment Buddies program through our social workers and our counselors at the school to work with our students who may have family members who are deployed. Again, trying to keep down the anxiety, building up that mental health so that they can learn. We have an Important Person Day in lieu of Grandparents' Day. And this is something that was near and dear to my heart. I am former military. My husband is former military. We have a son that served in the military, and my grandfather was former military. So I understand how important it is to develop a relationship where you are, because you may not be there long, to quickly develop those relationships so you can have a support system. And so when my kids were in school, we had Grandparents' Day, and my family lived all over the globe. I have a father in the Cayman Islands, I have my mother in Texas, and relatives in New York, so none of our grandparents could make it to the Grandparents' Day. And so here at Freedom Park, we incorporated an Important Person Day, because you might not have a grandparent here, there's someone here, be it a neighbor or a friend, who's very important in your life, and that day is all about support and celebrating our students. And finally, Purple Up Day celebration. That is a great day around here. We celebrate that day in April, the month of the military child, and we have a full day of just celebrating our students and who they are and what it means to be a student who has parents in the military. And finally, one of the most important things is community outreach. We have several ways that we keep in contact with our parents. And of course, traditional phone, email, and text, but several social media pages and websites so that our parents can have access to us anytime that they have questions or a need. And that concludes a little peek at Freedom Park. If there are any questions from the audience. Okay, yes, sir.
Is there anything that you do here at Freedom Park that is unique, other than those things that you obviously have done yourself and your staff are doing, that is not something that other Richmond County schools either participate in or do, or anything you can think of that's kind of outside the norm because of your unique location and because of, you know, the kind of student population that you have? Is there anything that you?
Yes, again, the Purple Up Day is one event that we have every year because we are 95% military connected.
Mhm.
We celebrate holidays that other schools may not celebrate. And we just do a really good job of making sure that our students, we want a sense of normalcy in our building. We don't want to always point to the fact that you are a military kid, because at the end of the day, they're kids. And so for this year, it's really been about making sure that our kids have that mental health aspect support because of the pandemic, and also making sure that they're ready to learn.
Military Flagship Award winner, so again, very proud day for us, all right? So congratulations.